I'm Paul Levinson, and welcome to Light On, Light Through, episode 280, my review of Slow Horses, episode 1.4. Well, I was glad to see that Slow Horses continued its streak of flatulence by Lamb in episode 1.4, just up on Apple TV yesterday, with Lamb advising that some lamb dish that he had eaten earlier would be making a, quote, reappearance, unquote. Okay, this was not flatulence per se, it was just an allusion to it, but it gets a boost as a mention with someone named Lamb talking about lamb. By the way, one thing I didn't like in this episode was the continued near absence of Sid. As I said in an earlier review, she's one of my favorite characters, and I'd like to see her getting a little more action than just in a coma. And otherwise, there wasn't all that much that was actually new in this episode. It is clear now that the true villains are MI5, and I'm glad to see our slow horses in one way or another continuing to get the better of them. It was good to see Catherine Standish in so many scenes with Lamb. I think they're a good couple. She no doubt has an interesting backstory, and it would be fun to see more of that. So I don't have much more to say about episode 1.4, but this might be a good time to say how much I like Mick Jagger's theme song, Strange Game, written recently for the series. I'll have a link in my show notes where you can hear Jagger explaining how all this came to be. The song starts off with a great rhyme. Losers and boozers, surrounded by losers, misfits and boozers. I don't think that's quite the right melody, but you get the picture. And the song goes on with a lyric that shows Mick Jagger hasn't lost his chops with words. He also wrote the music, by the way, which is good too. The whole song reminds me a little of The Doors, People Strange. But hey, hearkening back to a 1967 song is fine by me. In fact, I think the whole idea of asking a rock legend to write and sing a new song for a series is brilliant. It beats choosing a well-known song that everyone already knows as a theme song, which is the way most series go these days. Jagger writing and singing Strange Games is just one example of the originality of Slow Horses, and I'm glad they're here. That is, the Slow Horses. I'm glad it's here, the series, and I'll see you back here next week with my next review. And I hope you enjoyed that review of Slow Horses. I will be back here next week with my review of the next episode. There'll be some other good series coming up in the next few weeks, and I'll be reviewing them as well. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sound, and do what you can to help those brave people in Ukraine fight off those depraved Russian invaders of their country.
The Light on Light Through podcast.
Athens, 2042 AD. She ripped the paper in half, then ripped the halves, then ripped what was left again into bits and pieces of history that could have been. Sierra Waters had read once that, years ago, it was thought that men made love for the thrill, while women made love for the sense of connection it gave them.
Curled Up with a Good Book says, Sierra Waters is sexy as hell. You can find out more about The Plot to Save Socrates by Paul Levinson at theplottosavesocrates.com.
Paul Levinson Silk Code, about an ancient biotech war raging on in secret for centuries.